Kirby, this is home for him. And then you talk about a guy who's got some familiarity in this conference. He brings in Matt Miller, who was most recently the co-offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach at Boise State. So that's all positive. Familiarity, recruiting situations. And they also have the #1 transfer class in the Pac-12. Here's the Cougs' new head man.
The big thing throughout the season is going to be to take it one day at a time, one meeting, one practice, one game, and then we'll see where the chips fall at the end of the season. And just excited to get to work and compete against some of the best football programs on the West Coast.
Yogs, a little bit earlier in the show, I set up Washington State, and to be fair, Oregon State is sort of the OGs in this conference. But the Cougs right now, I continue to talk about this. They scored, some close losses last year that kind of made you cringe and go, oh my God, what if? But the reality is there's a lot of positivity right now in Pullman for what Coach Moore can potentially do. It feels like offensively, last couple of years, man, they've had some really significant talent on that side of the football.
Yeah, I mean, look, this has been the team that's kind of been in the fight, right? We referenced that, them in Oregon State since the Pac-12 just changed its look. And now you look at them in a new look again with another head coach. That is not easy for anybody. I think the positive for them is that it's new look head coach, potentially new look team, but it's a new look league. So I think that everybody kind of is on a relative same page in that. Everybody's going to be learning about one another. It's not like you have all this data of how a team is played or they have a culture that's been established for many years, let alone decades. Like that doesn't exist where we sit here for the majority of this conference. So I look at this team and their schedule early on, it's a challenge, right? You go to UW in the rivalry game at K-State, and they get Arizona and Brent Brennan, who just got extended at home with Duquesne intermingled among their first 4. But I love how competitive it is because, Mike, they're going to learn the most about their team. I think of all the teams in the Pac-12, who's going to know the truth about who they are early on? It's going to be the Cougs because of the caliber of opponent early on. I mean, you're not saving anything. You're cutting this thing loose right off the bat. So can they reset in that regard? And when you get into conference play, kind of kick off that new season, they do it with Fresno State at home. Then they go on the road twice, the second one being at Oregon State. We referenced this flex schedule. Oregon State is their projected opponent, and it's been a little bit of a rivalry there in recent years. We know that. We've called those games. We've been there for those games. So I like that for this team, and I'm really excited about Kirby Moore. I mean, I've heard about him for so long. You watch his growth, watch his path. I mean, look what just happened in the Super Bowl when you're talking about the Seahawks' young head coach, and we've got a young head coach as well here at Washington State. What can he do in year one? What will this offense look like? There's a lot of questions that will get answered in spring ball and training camp, but overall, this is a program accustomed to winning. It's accustomed to going to the postseason. That's the standard that will not change for the Cougs. I mean, the Cougs and the Beavs are the flag bearers of the Pac-12 as we enter this new league. I'm excited for them, and I like the challenging schedule early on for them, just because, as I referenced, Mike, they're going to find out exactly what's up for them heading into the season. And then finally, defensively, I mean, you talked about it a little bit, but Trent Bray, now he's a defensive coordinator, come back to a community where he grew up, right? His dad was coaching at Washington State. Many stories for him in high school there as a linebacker and hard-hitting man in the Pullman community. So I'm excited for him to get that opportunity after Oregon State, and then just this team and the big opportunity they have entering this season.
And by the way, speaking on the defensive side, and I love the fact that you bring up Trent Bray, because I know it didn't work out for him as the head coach at Oregon State, but to a man, you talk to some of his former players, and they will tell you when he was the defensive coordinator how great that acumen was. And you always remember doing an interview, Jordan Poyer, and when I was at NFL Network, or still at NFL Network, but I remember doing a show, and Jordan popped on, and we had talked just about Trent and how he was getting that job a couple seasons ago, and his face absolutely lit up. There is a concerted, well-thought opinion of what Trent Bray can do. And now all of a sudden still in this Pac-12 conference, and that is a huge win from a Washington State perspective.